rethink his life. Jack emerged from his room, wearing his usual worn t-shirt and jeans, looking considerably more like a human being and less like a character from a Japanese opera. I think it was the thimbles that did it. No one can handle the emotional weight of an antique thimble collection before breakfast. You were great, Jack, Jonna said, giving him a small, appreciative smile. I mean it. You really went above and beyond. Well, Jack said, heading for the coffee pot. I enjoyed the quiche, and I think I found a new calling. I might start a business, flamboyant roommates for hire. We specialize in discouraging ex-boyfriends and intimidating landlords. Chrissy walked into the room, still in her pajamas, her hair a chaotic halo. Did he leave any Swiss chocolate? No chocolate, Chrissy, Jack said. Just a very confused memory of a man in a silk kimono. Oh well, Chrissy sighed, sitting down at the table. At least we have the crate. I think I'm going to start on the clock face today. I bought some gold stickers at the pharmacy. Chapter 32. The Great Dam Dryout. The flood of Chapter 31 had receded, but it had left behind a legacy of humidity that turned Apartment 201 into a secondary tropical rainforest. The carpet crunched when you walked on it, and the walls seemed to be perspiring. Jonna, ever the optimist, had lined the hallway with every towel they owned, while Jack spent the morning trying to convince a hairdryer to work as a professional-grade dehumidifier. It's no use, Jack groaned, tossing the hairdryer onto the sofa. The only thing I've successfully dried is my own left ear. We're going to have to do something radical, like moving to higher ground. Chrissy asked, hanging her damp socks over the edge of the mahogany crate. Like a sun and fun drying party. Larry Dallas's voice boomed as he practically kicked the door open. He was wearing sunglasses and carrying a cooler that smelled vaguely of industrial solvent. Larry, we are currently living in a sponge, Jonna said, not looking up from her mopping. We don't have time for your parties. That's where you're wrong, Jay Wood. Larry chirped, slapping Jack on the back. I've got a connection. A friend of a friend has a brother who owns a car wash. He lent me this. He pointed out to the hallway, where a massive, orange industrial blower sat, humming like a jet engine. This baby can dry a swamp in 60 seconds. All we need to do is crank it up, open the windows, and let the wind of progress do the rest. Larry, is that safe? Jack asked, eyeing the machine with deep suspicion. Safe? Jack, it's practically medical grade. Larry insisted. Now, stand back. We're going to turn this place into a dessert. Within minutes, the blower was engaged. The noise was deafening, a roar that made conversation impossible. The curtains flew straight up, and Jack's stack of cookbooks began to migrate across the floor. It's working. Chrissy screamed over the din. I can feel my toes again. But Larry's marketing budget had once again overlooked the details. The blower wasn't just moving air, it was moving everything. A bowl of fruit was launched into the bathroom, and the mahogany crate began to slide toward the window. Suddenly, the front door burst open. Stanley Roper stood there, his hair being blown straight back by the artificial gale. "What is this?" Stanley yelled, his voice barely audible over the machine. "Are you trying to launch the building into orbit? We're drying the carpet, Mr. Roper." Jack shouted back. "You're drying the paint off the walls." Stanley bellowed. "Turn it off. I've got reports of a tornado in the building." As Larry scrambled to cut the power, the machine gave one final, violent cough, spraying a fine mist of car wash wax over everything in the room. The silence that followed was heavy. "Well," Larry said, looking at the shimmering, waxy coating on the furniture, "on the bright side, your sofa is now waterproof." Chapter 33, The Laundry Day Blues. The car wash wax fiasco had a secondary consequence. Every piece of clothing in the apartment now had the aerodynamic properties of a bowling ball. They were stiff, shiny, and smelled of lemon fresh rain. "I can't go to work in this," Jonna said, holding up a skirt that stood up on its own. "I look like I'm wearing a suit of armor made by Sunkist." "Laundromat," Jack decreed. "Now, we take everything. We wash it twice. We pray the wax comes off before we look like a family of plastic dolls." The local Santa Monica laundromat was a place of white noise and fluorescent lights. Jack, Jonna, and Chrissy occupied for machines, their arms laden with waxy laundry. "I'll go get the soap," Chrissy said, drifting toward the vending machine. While she was gone, a distraction occurred. A woman in a very large hat tripped over a stray laundry basket, and Jack, being the harmless gentleman he was, rushed to help. Jonna followed to ensure the woman wasn't a secret agent for the Ropers. In the confusion, Chrissy returned and, seeing an empty basket next